the choice of food you make has a huge impact, because you not only choose according to taste, but you also choose according to ethics, to environment, and to your own health.
Hello everybody. I have the pleasure to be today in Marbella in the Clinica Buchinger Wilhelmi with the director of the clinic, Victor Wilhelmi. He is with his cousin Katharina Rohrer since 3 years, the 4th generation in the responsibility of the clinics, and also he happens to be my son. So it's really a great pleasure to talk about what he developed here in Marbella. This is a collaboration with local food producers, fruit and vegetables and nuts and very good oils. And this is exactly according to our guidelines. We have made guidelines of the Buchinger Wilhelmi eating recommendations, and we see 3 dimensions. The first one is health of the person eating, human health if you want. The second dimension is respect for or health of the environment. The food I eat shouldn't destroy the environment, but should help to maintain it and to make it more fruitful. And the third dimension is the ethical dimension. So the food I eat should not prevent other people or animals to eat in the world. Like, for instance, if we eat a lot of animal products, then the feed of these animals is the cereals that other countries don't have. So we reduce the animal products, even the clinics are vegetarian, and give some fish, especially in Spain, 2 times a week. This is according to the guidelines today of respect of the environment. We have more local products, and we favor vegetables, good oils, nuts and seeds, legumes, and also fruit. So I'm very happy that you explain us about this CSA project, which is now functioning already.
Yeah, and here in Spain we chose to go a little bit a different route. And I think it's interesting to share our process, because maybe it can inspire others to do the same, and it can show a little bit how we evaluate what is important for us when we look for the sources of the best ingredients that are out there. So first, we looked at the ethical dimension. We wanted to take farmers that are very compromised, that really believe in what they do. We wanted to take small farmers, so that basically the idea is they should be so small that they themselves eat from the production that they grow. All the products are organic. They are from more or less 50 kilometers around us. And the thing that you mentioned, we believe in regenerative agriculture. So not only bio, which is that you don't put pesticides, but that you have an agriculture that feeds the earth so that it gets better and better. So we look a lot for soil health. So we set out, we have one permaculture expert, Alejandro Orioli, and he made a very clear catalog of the criteria that we were looking for in the farmers. And I'm very proud to say that now we have 12 farmers who are small scale, who produce bio, who produce regeneratively. And you know, it's very humbling to meet these people that have, we have one farmer, for example, he looks with a pendulum for the energy and puts each seed in the right place. Another one is a lettuce whisperer, and he would rather not give us anything than to give us the wrong produce. He has a very strong sense of quality. And he told us at the time, like, I only want to give people what I myself would eat, what I would give to my family. And we have a third one, Salvador. His hands are like, how do you say, shovels, because they almost have another layer of skin because they have been so much in the earth. And these are the people that you want to buy your food from. And the ethical dimension for us means that we want the people who grow this food, who put so much love in it, and who really put so much care in that the product itself is the best that it can be, the best expression of itself, that they can live from it. And when we approached them for the first time, they had never heard about this, because we also pay them in advance for a crop, because we have to plan 6 months before the seed goes into the earth, because we have to plan our dishes, and so we have to order, and we have to order the quantities. So it was a huge challenge to put the system into place, but we want to pay them the just price so that they and their families can live from it, and that we also have a support for the social economy. We had one of our farmers who had strong wind, and he had 3,000 kilos of mangoes on the floor. And so we shorthandedly bought it with also the help of some employees. And we made puree from it and we froze it. So it's really a very close relation with the field. And it connects our chefs, it connects our employees, and it connects our guests much more with the realities that we have outside. And the ethical dimension for us is also that, we want to, there's this very good saying that you vote with your fork. And very little effort, or not very little effort, because sometimes it's an effort to find the right quality. But if you make the effort and you look for it, you support a system of a local economy, a way of treating the earth, a way of protecting the earth, a way of feeding yourself better, that has so many consequences that are all positive, that if one makes the effort, the rewards are immensely.
And I suppose also in what the taste is concerned.
That is the most beautiful. We have one of your very dear friends, also Philippe de Brosse, who is one of the pioneers of organic agriculture. And he always says that some people say that organic products are more expensive, but if we look at it, they're actually more dense in nutrients and more dense in taste, therefore. So he says with one well-grown apple with an old variety, you would have to eat 10 supermarket apples to have the same density of nutrients. And here we are a fasting clinic, but even the fasting people, they receive soups and juices. And it's a little bit like, to make the best produce, you have to have a good earth. A good earth is made up of a million of little microorganisms
that work for you.
And it's the same with the microbiome. So a product that comes from a very rich earth that was produced by a lot of little organisms enters the stomach and is a very better source of food for all these little microbes that make up our microbiome. So during the fasting, the people can get a soup made with these very well products. They connect to the seasonality because they only get soups that are seasonal, the same thing with the juices. And then afterwards, when they regenerate after their fast, they start with these products that have been harvested the same day, and they realize that they taste maybe better than the products that they are used to know.
Because their taste buds are also very sensitive.
Their taste buds are so sensitive, and the products itself are better. So the two make for really an amazing experience. And I think also a little change in perception, because first of all, you're much more focused and the things are better. And also it helps you to regenerate all those tissues that you have been foregoing to help this reset process to give the best nutrients possible.
you have a sort of commitment with these agricultures. And for instance, what happened when the lockdown was and the clinic was closed during 3 months?
Yeah, as we mentioned before, we make an order every 6 months. So we had already ordered and they had planted all their things. So we continued our order as if nothing was happening, as if the clinic was full. And we gave the order to Caritas, a local organization, a very big organization that feeds people who during the pandemic and in general are disadvantaged. And it was beautiful because the people who, because you always give the food and then you have people sorting through the food. And they said they've never received a quality like this because normally these organizations, they buy quantity over quality.
And I remember we were thanked, the family was thanked in public after the mass in the church. And they said, normally we thought that the clinic was something, arrogant, only for rich people. And now with this action, we notice that there is a philosophy behind and an ethic, like you said.
Yeah. No, that was a very, humbling and a nice experience, and we were very happy because then we could help our farmers, we could help the local community here, and giving them what we think is important, which is really...
And the confidence that they can rely on you as a partner.
Yes.
This is something very new, that the consumer is the partner of the one who produces it.
Yes.
And don't let you in distress if you have a natural event that impedes.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you something about the chef. The chef must do the menus out of these wonderful products.
Yes.
And how do they connect together, the producers and the chef?
Yeah, very good question. The chefs at Buchinger Wilhelmi have a very challenging task because they have to cook seasonal. They have to have a very balanced diet. They cannot use all the little kitchen helpers that you have usually. And out of this, they create the menus.
And with the little calories, most
and
of
with
the
the little
time.
calories that they have. So the chefs here, they go to the fields. They go interchange with the farmers. And the farmers also come to the clinic. Every so often, especially when we had a little celebration, we invited all the farmers here.
Give them massage.
We give them the first massage of their life, and they get to taste the product that the fruit of their product. And it's incredible also the amount of congratulations that we got from our guests. Because they really perceived the quality.
And even financially, it was not negative.
No, it's big work to create the system, because we have two more positions that we created. One who is the position that takes care of the whole system, that gives aid when they need regenerative practices, and the other is that every morning picks up all the food from all the farmers so that it arrives fresh on the plates of the guests. And I want to take also the opportunity to give a few advice, because the choice of food you make has a huge impact, because you not only choose according to taste, but you also choose according to ethics, to environment, and to your own health. And so if you can make the effort and maybe go find this produce in a farmer's market, for example, or a community of people who get together to buy directly from farmers, you help a whole system and you help your health. Here at the clinic, what we do is we do vegetable boxes for our employees. So if you are an employee here at Buchinger Wilhelmi, you can order a vegetable box that is delivered once a week. And the challenge is that you get 12 kilos of vegetables. So what you do with this, and you get creative. You go back to cooking. You show your family what is in the box. The family realizes what produce is in season right now.
And the kids, because
And the
you
kids
remember
realize-
Jamie Oliver showing that a part of carrots, potatoes and onions, most of the vegetables were not known by kids
Yes.
in cities.
We have it, or a lot of people say, I bring this box home and all the family gathers and sees what's in season, and then you decide what to cook. So these are little things, because it's true, people are often overwhelmed to find the right produce, to assess the right produce, to find the time. And sometimes if you look in your city, often you have these system of vegetable boxes, and then the challenge is just to make something good out of it. But it's something that we've seen here and it works extremely well. And it's maybe an inspiration to our viewers out there.
Thank you very much. It was really a great talk. So what you eat matters, and you understand that when you fast.